All right, well, the final day of practice here for the first tour event on Lake Okeechobee is over. It's actually pouring rain outside.
Yeah.
We sought some shelter here in Roland Marianne Martin's Marina Tackle Shop and found you shopping, Alex Davis, so you have to talk to us now.
I had to get some last minute things.
You did, and we won't reveal what it is yet because it was pretty technical stuff.
It was very technical. It probably won't help at all.
Well, let's hear it. Tell me about it because, you know, in 16, just to preface it, you had a pretty good derby down here in Florida.
Yeah, coming in second was awesome.
That was sweet.
Probably not going to happen this time.
Why not?
It's just not the same. You know, a lot of the grass, like up there at North Shore and all that, it's all gone. And most everything that I fished before is now dirty. So what was clean and like before, I mean, I didn't know I was going to be able to come in second, but I knew I was going to catch them. I mean, it was, you kind of catch them at will. And this time it's not that. Like you go scratching your head thinking, what? I just went 700 yards without a bite on Okeechobee.
It is, I mean, we've heard that same story from a lot of the guys this week. You know, it is different, I think is a good way to put it, like you said. But tell me a little bit about, I mean, in 3 days, you've obviously seen a lot of the lake. I mean, do you feel like, I feel like one thing I've heard from a lot of guys is that it's going to fish smaller than it normally does. Can you echo that?
Yeah, it's kind of strange. You go forever, nothing. You don't see boats. Like, you don't even see a boat. You're like, oh, is there anybody out here? And then you'll come around a corner and it's like, it seems like half the field is in one small place, which I don't like that. So I kind of keep moving around and try to find something off the wall or not where everybody's going to be, because you can kind of see when you get in groups like that, it just seems like you all kind of catch the same weight and then someone's going to catch a 5-pounder. But I'd rather not try to get lucky. I mean, it's Florida, you have to get lucky, but I don't want to just flip of a coin if I'm going to catch a 5-pounder with everybody else. So I've tried to find something different. It just hasn't really happened. I don't really know. I mean, you still catch a bunch of fish. People, you know, I don't want to believe all the crying, because you still can catch 15, 20 fish a day. It's not that hard. It's just the bigger ones is difficult at best.
Now, I know, you know, obviously you're a Guntersville guy, so I don't know how much you can weigh in on this, but with everyone talking about how many little ones there are, there's got to be big ones around. Do you think they're maybe in dirtier water and they're just harder to catch, or what? Do you have an opinion on that?
I mean, a lot of the water's dirty this year, so I think the fish still live there. They didn't just swim away. I mean, they didn't just leave these massive great areas that's been great for years and just leave. Right. So they're still there. It's hard to get them to bite. And it definitely doesn't help. Like Guntersville, I mean, I've seen pressure get to them. They get smarter and they just don't bite. Well, when you go around a pocket and it's dirty water and then you have clean water and there's 40 boats, you know, people fun fishing and us practicing as well, they've seen every bait. There's nothing new to them. So the bigger ones are going to be obviously smarter. He didn't get to be 8-9 pounds for being dummy his whole life. Right. So, you know, I think their fish are conditioned to a lot. I mean, everybody seems to do the same things. A swim jig, a speed worm, flip, Senko style bait. So it's not like you're putting something new in front of one's face. Right.
So obviously this week, wind is also going to be a thing. You know, we were talking about the forecast just before we started recording this, and it varies on how hard it's going to blow, which direction it's going to blow. But the thing out here is you have to take that into consideration a little bit in practice, at least. Did you kind of plan your practice around which way the wind was going to blow?
I didn't, because I knew how tough it was. So I was just going to practice and see if I could find bigger fish and not let the wind mess with my head. Sure. From how practice has gone, I don't really think the wind can affect me one way or the other. It's not like it's so good or so bad that wind's good. I'm not sitting here thinking that wind direction is going to kill my whole bite, because it hasn't been great to begin with. So, but I mean, definitely the 25 mile an hour out of a certain direction is going to dirty things up. Like I said earlier, they're not going to swim away. Right. It just makes them harder to catch. So I guess we'll just kind of figure it out Thursday on how that wind's going to shake things up, but we really won't know. And you know, all the reports of it's tougher and all that, we'll figure that out Thursday, about like how we'll figure out how hard it's going to blow Thursday.
Right. Well, final thing, because we've talked about it the last couple of days, water temperature. Have you seen it warm up a lot in the last couple of days?
It was 58 when I first put in the first morning, and then I think this afternoon was like 65. So I mean, things are shaping to where it should be that proverbial wave you hear about.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to get cool and windy, but that's something we're talking about weather-wise too. So it really is going to be Thursday morning, the Thursday afternoon when it's weighing time. We'll see how this crying fest is going to shake out.
I haven't asked anyone, and this will be my last thing for you. Winning weight.
Right now, I would say about 60 pounds, honestly. I mean, I think if you caught 15 pounds a day with the weather that's coming, I mean, I think you'll be able, you know, somebody will be able to catch 20. And then if they caught 15, they'd really put themselves on a good track to win. So, I mean, I think if a man catches 60 pounds in 4 days, he'll probably win.
I like it, man. Well, thanks for joining us. I'll let you shop around a little more.
Go do a little shopping.
We'll see you tomorrow at the meeting, man.
Thank you.
Well, next up, we're keeping kind of the nostalgic train rolling with guys that have done well here in the past, and we got Jason Lambert joining us. It's a little rainy outside, so Jason Lambert was kind enough to follow us inside the marina tackle store, which is kind of a cool spot to do this, because at least we're dry. We got that going for us.
We are dry in here. It's not dry out there. It has all afternoon since about, I don't know, probably 1:30, 2 o'clock. It really got wet fast.
Yeah.
And it rained hard, then it stopped, and then it rained hard, and it stopped. But it's set in for a little while now.
Well, I thought it'd be good talking to you because, well, I mean, you've won here before. You won a Costa, and it was during sort of adverse conditions, and things are a little adverse this week. So I thought maybe, you know, you're probably on like 18, 19 pounds a day.
Yeah, I wish. You know, the fish haven't seemed to be all that hard to catch. I mean, it's hard to get some bites, but once you get in an area that's got them, you'll get quite a few bites. But the problem right now is the watercolor. You know, when we were here in 16 when I won that event, there was a lot of fish biting, not a lot of good fish. What hurt that tournament was that cold front we had on the second day.
Yeah. And
it got real windy, chopped the water up, did the same thing a little bit as it's doing now. It's gotten nasty. I mean, the biggest problem out here right now is this is a huge lake, 400,000+ acre lake. It's fishing tiny, man. There's only so much clean water, and you know, it don't take these guys long to find that clean water. And you know, Okeechobee's Florida fishing. It's you just don't catch them real good in that dirty stuff. So you got to be clean, and it's hard to find. And once you find it, everybody else finds it. So it's going to fish. It's going to fish really, really tight this week.
Talking to a lot of guys, you know, you've heard kind of the same thing. You know, it's fishing real small, and some guys are just kind of electing to go in on that. This is where the fish are. I'm just going to learn every inch of it and go that route. While other guys, I think, are still trying to, you know, find that stuff, that out of the way stuff. How did you break down practice?
Well, you know, I've got some of those areas that a lot of other guys have got to, and I've got a couple of places where I'm fishing around guys but not with guys kind of thing. But I spent some time today in 2 different areas where I knew where a small group of fish were, and I just tried to expand that. One of those areas I did expand a little bit. You know, they're not just in one little tight spot. There's actually some fish around. The other one, they're in one little tight spot. So, you know, whoever gets there first, you know, it's probably going to be, you know, over pretty fast. But I just haven't had any luck finding that off the wall stuff. I've looked a lot. There's, you know, like I said, there's some areas kind of outside the areas, but it's just not. There's just not enough clean water.
Right.
I mean, you got to go. You got to get back far, you know, or get in those protected areas from the wind to find the clean water, and there's just not a lot of it.
Have you caught any fish out of any of that stained water? Not necessarily that mud water, but there's a lot of, stained water, I guess I'd.
You know, there's, you know, the funny thing about this lake is there's certain areas of the lake that the water's different color anyway. Like the monkey box, for example, it's that black color. You think it's dirty, but you actually look at like your lower unit or something, you can see it down there.
Right.
So it looks dirty, but it's not. But now that stuff that's churned up, that's milky looking, that's
where you can
hard.
Actually see like mud floating through it.
See the silt coming through it. You know, I caught a 3.5 pounder today out of some mud. I mean, it was over grass, but that was the only fish I caught there. You know, I stopped and I thought, well, while I'm here, might as well throw a few times. And I caught one hour later and never caught another one. So I don't think that's, for me, that's not the thing to do. If I see that mud, I'm not real comfortable. And I usually just try to go on somewhere else. I mean, I'm sure some guys are going to catch them out of some dirty water.
Sure.
Just don't know how dirty.
Well, I guess we haven't really asked anything about like cut weights, or I asked Alex about a winning weight, but what's your take on maybe like a cut weight or also a winning weight?
You know, this year we're going to the top 30, so, you know, it's going to go down a little further. I mean, traditionally here it's been about 15 pounds a day. So, you know, that's usually around 30 pounds, but I don't think it's going to take that much. I think it's going to take, you know, somewhere in that 28 range to make the top 30, maybe 20, maybe even less than that, maybe like 26, 27. Because there's a lot of fish biting, but there's just not a lot of big fish biting.
Sure.
You know, 3 days I've caught one fish over 5 pounds, and I've caught a lot of fish, and that was the only fish I caught over 5. So, you know, it's hard to say. I think 26, 27 pounds is probably going to make the cut. I think, you know, 22, 23 is probably going to be a check range. You know, if somebody could sustain, you know, 16, 17 pounds over 4 days, I mean, I feel
looking real good.
I feel like that would have a shot. Now, somebody's going to catch them the first day. They always do. You know, somebody's going to bust a big bag the first day. But the way it's fishing right now is, I don't know if those fish are replenishing. So, you know, that 25 sack the first day may be an 8 sack the second day.
Sure.
We've seen that happen here.
Oh, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
I don't know. I think the deal is it's going to be consistent and try to catch that, you know, 13 to 16, 17 pounds a day. You'll be in good shape. You know, right now I'm just hoping to catch 11 or 12 pounds a day. But, you know, the first 2 days I didn't catch that. Today I did, so who knows? We'll just see Thursday how it shakes out.
Well, thanks for joining us, man. I hear the rain coming down harder than it was
pouring.
earlier, so you better get closing up shop in that Ranger,
Thanks,
and
man.
we'll talk to you later.